Hello everybody and welcome back to the 3D Chaos League for 2024, where wins the 13th event, the back quarter of the championship, and Team Life hold an extended championship lead after the last event. Also after the last event, the Union of Fire fell out of championship contention. And I believe this event will be run in reverse championship order, so they will be the first team that we see. You can see a very interesting course ahead of us, the cross-country relay. 4 different series of challenges for 4 different marbles to face. We have a Hivernale section, a Grand Prix track section, a Skyrail section, and a small little tower section at the end. And some very lucky fans have gotten the opportunity to give this course a bit of a test run. So that was the Hivernale section, probably the shortest of the track, and then this Grand Prix section, a nice little roundabout there, into the Skyrail, the fastest part of the track, definitely, and also the most green. All these leaves hanging around there. Must smell quite nice in there. And then the final tower section. Getting down here quickly will be important. And then the timer stops as soon as they hit the bottom of that final chute at the bottom of the tower. So, as I said, reverse championship order, the Union of Fire will get us started. And there they go. Into the Hivernale section. Not a lot of time to be made up in that section, to be fair, but a lot of time to lose. So, those marbles in any of these sections really want to keep it clean, keep it in the middle of the track. This marble is a little slow over that hump, and got a bit faster near the end. Now, how are they going to do down the tower? Quick down the tower, but how quick is it? Almost a sub 30 second, I believe. Let's have a look at that. 30.08. Our first benchmark has been set by the Union of Fire. We'll see how that holds throughout the rest of the event. Your fans seem to be pretty happy with that, but they don't really have anyone to compare it to, but we soon will with the Black Knights, who, I don't know how many times I can say these marbles have had a very torrid run as of late. Perhaps I should just save them the trouble. But this is looking like a good start to this event. The Grand Prix track section looked pretty decent. Now for the Skyrail. Is it quick over the hump? Maybe a little quicker than the Union of Fire. The roundabout around the tree seemed a bit slow. Now down the tower. They got to get this quick. They were not very quick at the top. Down the stairs pretty quickly. I think that's faster than the Union of Fire at least. And yes, it is. 2.5 tenths faster than the Union of Fire. So the Black Knights will be guaranteed points here. But how many is the question? 2.5 tenths. We'll have to see if that is a decent margin. The Laser Eyes. They'll be up next. They have finally found their mojo in the past few events, and they finally got a medal, and with that medal that they received, all 16 teams in this season have medaled at some point, and we're only 13 events in. That's pretty good. And the Laser Eyes have had a good start to this track. They were pretty good over that hump. The Grand Prix track section looked good, and the end of the Skyrail, that was very fast. I think this is going to go one step ahead of the Black Knights, and down the tower. That is going to be not only a sub 30, it's a sub 29 from the Laser Eyes. A full second faster than the Black Knights. Now I think that is a much more reasonable benchmark. Negative 1.9, almost 1 second and 2 tenths. Laser Eyes fans, they're very happy with that. They continue this strong run that they have found themselves in. I'll tell you, another team who maybe haven't had the best of luck in the last few events, the Golden Spiders. They had a decent middle of the season. I think it's slightly fallen away from them. How is it? Ooh, that looked a bit slow over the hump. The roundabout doesn't look any better. But it's a good end to the Skyrail. Dare I say that might be the most important section of the track because it is the longest. And they were quick down the tower. That's going to be close to the Laser Eyes. Is it? No, it's barely off the laser eyes. A 10th and a half down from the laser eyes. But still well ahead of the Black Knights. So although the Black Knights went ahead of the Union of Fire, maybe a little bit of worry in their fan section that they might not do much better than that. Now the Punkers. That looked like a very strong Hivernale section. What about the Grand Prix track? We haven't talked much about these early halves. And what's going on here? One of the marbles has gone early. This is curious. Did the marble get dislodged by accident? Punkers, they're talking to the refs. They're telling the referee that a gust of wind dislodged the third marble. And that's what got them away. And they're going to get a second attempt. There was a rather strong, they were able to prove that there was a rather strong gust of wind that pushed them out of the track. So a second attempt for the Punkers. And this is not looking too fast. Oh, are they? They're going to need to be very quick down this tower. And they're stuck! The Punkers have failed their second attempt. They're going to get stuck in the tower. And that should probably be a DNF. Oh, they're going to try and argue this with the refs again. I'm not sure anything's going to come of this. Oh, no. They're going to get a third attempt, the Punkers. They're just going to keep this going until they have a run that they feel is pretty good, I think. Oh, dear. Oh, and as I say, this run is certainly looking much better for the Punkers. Certainly much better than that last run did. Pretty quick around the roundabout on the sky rail. How are they going to go down the tower? This is much quicker. I think they also might have changed their lineup in each section to try and stop themselves from getting any more stoppages. So maybe they're not just playing around trying to go fast, but they do go pretty fast. A 28.66. That is going to be 2/10 off of the laser eyes. I know I've said this word a lot during the season, but perhaps a little bit of controversy getting 3 whole attempts. But that is for the judges to worry about. Now we are on to the neon lights. They look very quick around the Grand Prix track section. How is it going to be on the sky rail? Ooh, they glance one of the bushes there. Hope that didn't slow them down too much. Now down the tower. This has got to be quick. It's a decent run so far, but if they're not quick down the tower, it was all for naught. And maybe a sub 29, but only barely if it is. Almost 3/10 off of our provisional leaders. That is going to put them in 4th. It will not be a medal for the neon lights, but still pretty close. Pretty much only the Union of Fire and the Black Knights have really had any outstandingly poor runs. Everyone else has been very close. And that sort of just pretty much tells both of their whole seasons in a nutshell. Anyway, we have the green guys now. Onto the Grand Prix track section. As I said earlier, the Hivernale section, not too much time to make up. So, ooh, this is pretty slow over the sky rail hump there, and even worse so around the hairpin, or the roundabout, I should say. This has not been a strong run from the green guys, but they are very quick down the tower. Is this going to make up all the time? Maybe not all of it. As one of the marbles just rocks back and forth in jubilation of, I don't know, maybe finishing a run, I guess. And that is going to be over a second down. It is barely going to be faster than the Black Knights, and that is going to put them in 5th out of 7. So still some guaranteed points. But that might be well down the order by the time we get to the end of these runs. Now, Heat 8. The halfway point after this, the Imperials. Looking very excited in the Hivernale section, rocking back and forth pretty much the entire time. Grand Prix track section looking good for them. How are they going to go over the hump? That seems to be where a lot of the speed is scrubbed off, and can keep a good amount of speed in there, then you're set for a good time. This is looking decent for the Imperials. Ooh, the tower maybe not as fast as some others, but this is actually going to be quite good. And it is going to be P1 for the Mint Imperials. They will go fastest as we reach the halfway point of these cross-country relay runs. I do think they may have lost a little bit of time in that tower section, or in the upper half of it, but look at the fans. They're jubilated. They're happy. Their team has gone P1. So a 28.34 is the benchmark for our second half teams to fight. The top 5, all with very respectable times. I dare say the 6th, 7th, and 8th there might be a little bit resided to the bottom of the standings for this event. But now Snowy Mountains. They look very quick through the Hivernale section. Grand Prix track section. How are they going to do here? Certainly not the fastest we have seen, at least to the naked eye. And they also glance one of those bushes in there, like I believe the neon lights did. As they go down the tower, how quick is it going to be? It's maybe not as fast, or around the same speed as it looked the Mint Imperials, but I mean, the Mint Imperials time was pretty good. No, that is not going to be a good time from the Snowy Mountains. That's going to go 8th out of 9. Only the Union of Fire were worse than the Snowy Mountains here. I'll tell you, the only fans that might be happy about that are perhaps the Black Knights fans, because they're guaranteed another point, which at this rate they're taking all that they can get. Now the Frozen Fruits, the most colorful team in the field, racing on the most colorful aspect of this track there. Now we move on to the Grand Prix track. This is looking very good. Maybe not so much around that roundabout there. How about this one? That looked much better. And a nice quick end. This could be a good run for the Frozen Fruits. They got to be good down this tower, though. I don't know, is it going to be... Oh, maybe that's a sub 28. I think that's P1. No! Just barely not P1 for the Frozen Fruits. They will go into second, but that is a provisional silver medal for a team that is really making their mark on the standings as of late. I believe they got back-to-back medals in the last 2 events. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But now the Crystal Fish with Heat 11. We're getting well down the order of, or well up the order, I should say, of these standings, because it is reverse championship order that we are running in. Good Hivernale section. Grand Prix track section. This is looking very good. Dare I say the fastest we have seen so far, but it can all be taken away by the Skyrail. That did not look good over the hump. And the Skyrail roundabout, not particularly outstanding. The tower is going to decide it all. It's a decent run. Is not going to be sub 29 maybe. It's going to be close. It is barely a sub 29, but that is almost 1 full second and 2/10 off of the lead. That is going to go into 8th. Not a great run for the Crystal Fish. I think I'm pretty sure they lost almost all that time in the Skyrail section. It just, to the naked eye, looked very slow. But it's not going to be last. So silver lining. Shy Shadows now. How can they do in this Grand Prix track section? This is looking even faster than the Crystal Fish, but I said the Crystal Fish looked fast, but it ended up not being. But their Skyrail, oh my goodness, I was about to say their Skyrail is looking better, but they got really slow around the roundabout there. But the tower is looking very good. They made up a lot of time in that tower, I can tell you that right now. And that is going to put them at barely a sub 29. That is going to put them in 7th. Over a second down. Still a relatively decent position for the Shy Shadows. Now for the SubZeros. A team in 4th overall at the moment. And if there is any time to make a run at this championship, it is now. Especially for a team down in 4th like the SubZeros, considering the lead that Team Life have over even the 2nd place Midnight Crossers. They need a good run here. And that looks very good. It has been so clean so far for the SubZeros. If they can have a good tower descent, they do. That is the best tower we have seen. That is almost a sub 26. It's not quite going to be, but it's a 27-3-9. They go P1. The SubZeros. They knew that this is the time that they have to fight Team Life if they want any chance of this championship, and they have claimed P1 overall. And with only 3 teams left to go, this is a guaranteed top 4. If they can beat just one of these teams, they will be guaranteed a medal. But all of these teams have shown so much prowess and so much talent throughout the season, that might be difficult. The Blue Snakes looking pretty good. Maybe not as fast as the SubZeros. We'll have to see. The Skyrail is going to decide it. The Skyrail looked good for the Blue Snakes. They could challenge the SubZeros if they have a good tower descent, and it is a good tower descent, but I don't think it's as fast as the SubZeros. It's going to be P3 provisionally. The Blue Snakes do go onto the podium with 2 runs left, so they can fall no lower than 5th. So it'll still be a good result for them, but they do not beat the SubZeros, and the SubZeros now guaranteed at least bronze, with only the Midnight Crossers and Team Life left to go. But these two have been the stack of the field, or the best of the field throughout this entire season. The Midnight Crossers need a good run here. The Hivernale look on par. The Grand Prix track, just as much so. The Skyrail, this is where they can win or lose it. It looks good. Does it look SubZeros good? That is the real question. They need a good tower. And, oh, they were so slow in that middle section of the tower. They lost so much time. This is not even going to be a 27, and it's barely going to be a 28. 6th for the Midnight Crossers. Honestly, with the time loss that we saw in the tower, it's a miracle they're still in the top half. Oh, disaster for the final marble of the Midnight Crossers. And Team Life, they will extend their championship lead over the Midnight Crossers if they do any better than the mid-28 second time. How are they doing? Oh, that looked very good around the Grand Prix hairpin. That was it. Not the best we have seen over the Skyrail, but are they picking up a little bit of speed? It does look like it. If they have a good tower descent, they will definitely beat the Midnight Crossers. And it is. It's very good. This is almost going to be a sub-28. I don't think. It's going to go 4th for Team Life. Another podium miss for Team Life. But that means that the SubZeros will be your gold medalists in the cross-country relay. Team Life fans, they are still happy with a 4th, 12 points. Certainly nothing to scoff at. But the SubZeros, they will get gold in the cross-country relay. The Frozen Fruits, yet another medal. And who was that team in 3rd? It was the Blue Snakes. They held it out, and they stayed in that bronze position. Team Life 4th. The Mint Imperials will take another 5th. Back-to-back 5ths for them. They did not have a very good middle of the season, but they're coming back. And the SubZeros, they are making sure that every other team knows that they want this championship just as much as everyone else. And so Team Life, they do extend their lead. That lead is up to 18 points now. And now we have multiple other teams who are knocked out of championship contention. The next event, Endurance Battle.